Good afternoon, members of the podcast. Good afternoon to our visiting guests. We also like to extend sincere compliments to the various audiences following the press briefing from the Ministry of Information. We'd like to, on behalf of the Ministry, welcome you to the historic Charles Bayon conference room here at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. Today is Thursday, the 8th day of January 2025, and we are back here to do the job of the government, to speak on behalf of the government of Liberia to various developments that are unfolding in the country. We climaxed the year 2024 by launching what we call the year in review. Time could not permit us to have every entity of government here to outline their accomplishments, and so that initiative has spilled over into the new year. Today we have the Labor Minister, Honorable Councillor, come to provide you an accomplishment that they have made at the Labor Ministry during the year that has just ended. He will also use the opportunity to outline his vision and the prospects of the Ministry of Labor for the fiscal year 2025. Of course, the Labor Minister will probably introduce members of the delegation in Mount the podium. A lot is happening, and we have to speak to some of the issues as a government. Yesterday, we listened to the joint press conference that was held by the Liberia National Fire Service and the Liberia National Police. At that press conference, they provided preliminary updates into the findings from the investigation into the fire incidents that occurred at the Capitol building. And they said to us clearly that from the preliminary investigation that they have conducted, they have ruled out electrical shock, and that the fire that got at the building was as a result of an arson attack. They went on to say that they have identified some persons of interest, and those persons of interest are encouraged to continue to collaborate with the ongoing investigation. On that note, we'd like to commend the men and women of the Liberia National Police and the National Fire Service Bureau for the level of professionalism that they have exhibited so far. We have consistently said that it is good to remove politics from some of these things. The Capitol building is the seat of the Liberian democracy, and an incident of such magnitude, following back and forth in-house fighting, the impasse that have been happening on Capitol Hill for the last couple of months and weeks, it was good for them to investigate, and we want to encourage members of the public, talk show commentators, to treat this matter with some level of sensitivity. We politicize it, we will not get to the root cause. We will not identify the culprits. The perpetrator will not be identified. And so let us give the professional security apparatus, the professionals within the security apparatus, the opportunity to do their work. Still with the LNP, They have announced that calm has been restored to Lofa County, specifically Jonestown, where there was an incident that led to the death of an adult, a lady, and those who were arrested as suspects. One of them committed suicide while in the police cell. So the police are making significant efforts to hold accountable those responsible for the violence that resulted in the burning of the magisterial court and the Liberia National Police Station, the LNP police station on Tuesday, January 7, 2025 in Jonestown, Electoral District number 4, Lofa County. On 1st January 2025, the LNP Lofa County Police Detachment received a report regarding the alleged murder of Moyongo Kirikpo, an adult female resident of Jonestown, by unidentified individuals. In response to the report, community members requested the youth chairman to verify the situation on grounds of the allegation. Upon verification, the information was confirmed that the act of murder has been committed. The authority in Lofa were contacted and the police moved in swiftly, arrested some individuals, and one of the suspects, we are told, was detained in the police cell wearing 2 jacket or something, double suits, and one of those suits was used in the process to hang himself. When a death has occurred, the community is mourning, and people who are believed to be responsible for the act are being apprehended. And in the event somebody dies, people go on the rampage, destroying public infrastructure. Look at us as a country. We are lagging behind. And with the meager resources that we have when they go to build a police station and something happens, the first thing you do, you burn down the court, you burn down the police station. So if you burn down the court, how would justice be administered? If you burn down the police station, how would they enforce the law? We'll continue to urge citizens to desist from these acts of violence. It didn't help us yesterday. It will not help us today. We can always address our grievances through constructive dialogue. And this doesn't just start with the burning of police station. An accident occurred, the next thing you look, angry mob set the vehicle ablaze. Just in Samoka town, I think the day before yesterday, another vehicle was set ablaze. All these acts of violence troubling signal for our country. You have to respect the rule of law. Because in the absence of the rule of law, in the absence of the police officer, in the absence of the court, society, the community will become very brutal. And you don't want that. So we use this medium to reaffirm the commitment of the government to ensure that the perpetrators of the violence that led to the burning of the police station and the magisterial court, they will be apprehended and they will answer for their question. Investigation into the death of this elderly lady continues, and the LFP has assured us that they will furnish us with updates as they gather them so that we can inform the Liberian people. Our attention is drawn to what has become an ongoing debate There's an attempt by some members of the public to liken the government led by His Excellency President Boakai to that of former President Weah. This comparison is being done. We have followed it. People are comparing the first year of the former administration to the first year of the Boakai-led government. We have to weigh in on the debate because the public space has to be sanitized. And so our attention as a ministry is drawn to comparison between the XY CDC government's first year in power to that of the government headed by His Excellency President Joseph Boakai. As the spoke entity of the Liberian government, we wish to clarify that there can be no parallel between this government and the former regime of President Weah, which is an embodiment of failed legacy riddled by corruption, impunity, and unfulfilled campaign promises. The administration of ex-President Weah will be remembered as one of the most controversial and disastrous periods in Liberia's history. It was an era marked by widespread corruption, mysterious killings of professional auditors, an environment of insecurity, the disappearance of 16 billion of our national currency, the failed 25 million mop-up exercise, and a profound failure to deliver on the dividend of democracy to the Liberian people. It is no doubt that the regime of former President Weah left Liberia as a divided nation, disillusioned, and struggling with the aftermath of unaddressed injustices. In the first year of the Weah presidency, he built 16 condominiums for himself, demolished existing properties and rebuilt them. Allegations of corruption quickly took the center stage. High-ranking officials and close allies of former President Weah were implicated in scandals involving embezzlement, bribery, misallocation of meager state resources. Millions of dollars in public funds were either misused or diverted into private hands, with little or no accountability or legal repercussion for those involved. Public infrastructure projects, which were promised as a means of improving the economy, were riddled by inefficiency and overinflated costs, further exacerbating the country's financial woes. Rather than instituting measures to combat widespread corruption, the administration of President Weah's response was one of denial, cover-ups, and protection for those in power. Key government agencies like the GSC, LSCC, the RAA responsible for investigating corruption were either sidelined or co-opted, leaving citizens with little recourse for seeking justice. The once promised anti-corruption by the CDC government turned out to be little more than empty rhetoric. In contrast, the Boakai-led administration in its first year has demonstrated substantial progress, influencing economic, social, and political dimensions of the country, thus laying the groundwork for future accomplishment. For example, the Ministry of Finance has ensured macroeconomic stability. They have stabilized the economy and lower inflation. We have achieved a growth rate of 5.1% in 2024. We've crafted and prepared for the formal launch of the National Development Plan, which is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. The timely disbursement of civil servant salary. We have qualified the country for the second compact. We have decentralized fiscal activities. We have established local government fiscal board for annual expenditure ceiling. We've qualified Liberia for the extended credit facility. We service debt obligation. We will show public sector investment plan. These are just some of the good things that are happening in the first 11 months of the administration. Look at the Ministry of Public Works, making sure that the much talk about coastal highway can begin. Right now, as we speak, the Ministry of Public Works has deployed a team in our corridor, 2 sections of the road, to ensure that people who have properties in the road can be resettled and the construction of the coastal highway can begin. We have restored dignity back to the country. Have we forgotten? When embassies around the country, around Monrovia, will write press statement and refer to our government as being irresponsible? Who forgotten? When the president will board a plane, leave the country for 40 days and 40 nights, and ask Liberia to buy CCTV camera. Today, we can breathe an air of relief. You don't have to go home 6 o'clock because we have increased police presence. So we beg to differ. There's no parallel. There's no semblance. There's no resemblance. There's no equivalent between what happened here over the last 6 years and what is now happening. We have to say that because ours is a peculiar society and people tend to believe some of these misinformation. So before I invite the Honorable Labour Minister to the podium, I just want to lay out some of the accomplishment of 2 entities, the National Investment Commission and the Ministry of Health. Very lengthy, I cannot do all, but the National Investment Commission support to Liberian businesses. NRC granted special investment incentives to 8 Liberian-owned businesses, resulting in 33 million in investment and the creation of approximately 626 jobs. These incentives has bolstered local entrepreneurship in the sector such as manufacturing, mining, and food processing. 615 megawatts coal power plant. The NRC, in collaboration with the Ministry of Mines and Energy, with attestation from the Ministry of Justice, executed a memorandum of understanding with BHE Power to conduct a feasibility study for a 615 megawatts coal power plant. This initiative is integral to Liberia's energy expansion and industrialization agenda, thereby addressing the country's growing energy demand. EHN feasibility study. The NRC, in partnership with the Ministry of Health and with attestation from the Ministry of Justice, executed a memorandum of understanding with Essential Health Network to conduct feasibility study aimed at modernizing healthcare infrastructure. These studies focus on enhancing medical facilities, improving access to quality healthcare services across Liberia. ArcelorMittal Third Amendment. The NRC led ongoing negotiation to finalize and rectify ArcelorMittal Liberia Third Amendment. ArcelorMittal Liberia investment in a 15 million ton concentrator is set to increase royalties, create jobs, and strengthen the mining sector and contribute to Liberia's GDP. HPS access to concession agreement. The NRC advanced negotiation for Guinea's iron ore export to Liberia. The regional project will unlock economic corridors, boost auxiliary industries, and create substantial employment opportunities for Liberians. Western Cluster Limited Amendment. NRC reviewed the 2010 Western Cluster Mineral Development Agreement to align operations with national infrastructure priorities. This amendment ensures the development of dedicated port and rail infrastructure, relieving road congestion and fostering Western Cluster economic growth. Putu Iron Ore Mining Project. NRC negotiated with Sylvester to relinquish the Putu Iron Ore deposit, opening the project to new developers. This initiative is crucial for southeastern Liberia, promising job creation and improved regional infrastructure. Liberia Airport Authority. The NRC partnered with the Liberia Airport Authority to attract private investment for upgrading and expanding airport facilities. Procurement processes for the project implementation are currently underway. The Ministry of Health helped to transition more than 123 at-risk youth from rehabilitation to integration with support from local and international partners. Establishment of the National Sector Task Force to effectively supervise and manage the health sector of Liberia. Vaccinated more than 934,689 children against polio across the country, and with support from UNICEF and other international partners. A total of 1,702 children have been vaccinated in 6 counties of the Southeast against malaria with support from UC. 20 acres of land located in Baratua, Bon County was secured for the establishment of what is known as the Regional Reference Diagnostic Laboratory. Essential drugs and medical supplies have been distributed to all 537 health facilities across the country and the Central Medical Store. From January to October, the government of Liberia has spent a total of $1,481,000 on the procurement of essential medicine and medical supplies across the country. Development partners have contributed significantly to this initiative. The ministry is currently promoting community pharmacy approach across the country, which specifically began at the CB Doma Hospital in Bon County to improve and ensure regular supply of essential drugs all year round. From February to September 2024, neonatal deaths reduced. Out of a total of 82,516 live births conducted this period, there were 399 neonatal deaths after delivery within 28 days, indicating 5% neonatal death per 1,000 live births. Fewer new health facilities have been erected in Grand Juda, River G, Sando, and Grand Cook counties. 115 health facilities have been captured to be solarized under the Rural Renewable Energy Project. Solar vaccine fridge and solar PV system have been installed across health facilities in the country with funding from the German government through the expanded program for immunization. Since February 2024, the ministry procured 8 ambulances, 13 vehicles, and 95 motorbikes for the transportation and movement of patients and staff across the country. 200 nurses and midwives have been trained with essential skills and resources to enhance healthcare quality within local communities to elevate healthcare standards in underserved regions. With that being said, I will now welcome to the podium Councilor Copo Derek Minister of Labor and Republic of Bureau, to make his presentation.